He's flying a drone, okay? Uh, Now, which component is used, we don't know. Most probably open source or commercially off the shelf. With sound, it would have given you really shock, but anyway, we'll disregard. This is what happens if you don't know. This is Ukrainian vice premier going on public and saying that DJI drones were proving dangerous to their own people. There must have been a reason. It's not about Ukraine. What is important is vulnerabilities. When you use a commercially off the shelf vulnerabilities, innovations have happened in Ukraine war. FPV drones now they're using those cables to operate because electronic component vulnerabilities were too serious to be ignored. Now comes Su-57, Aero India just that, Su-57, F-35. Then suddenly China comes up with the J-36 generation fighter, and now US comes up with the F-47. Russia will follow, I am sure. Here I want to bring out something what we were doing about 3-4 years ago here. No permission, no takeoff. And they were the ones who had displayed it here. And I was telling them, let's improve it. And that is not inducted even today. So I'm not talking of technology. Why it is not inducted is my concern. Lessons were vulnerabilities of open source system, self-reliance, focused collaborations, military, civil technology fusion. I just authored a paper, probably. And I'm very inward looking guy. I'm not an outside. I don't talk about big technology because I know this. These are all technical people who can always outsmart me. There are different elements of civil aircraft manufacturing. So we bought 1150 aircraft in 2022. China bought only 165 aircraft. And they got the fourth commercial A320 Neo manufacturing final assembly line set up in China. What is it we miss? Ownership. Defense aircraft. There are aero engines we are developing. I tell you how I can change the narrative in India. We were developing an afterburner Kaveri engine, and now we are talking of a non-afterburner Kaveri engine. What happens to the afterburner Kaveri engine? Are we asking the right questions? Secondly, people have suddenly started talking, aero engine technology has become old in the Kaveri engine. So we got to go to the next. But what about certification of the old technology which you were developing? How to overcome the challenges? Where are the technical reviews? We have many projects. The moment our event gets over, we forget about that. So there are a few questions about. We have Avro indigenous project, and HAL had said we will upgrade Avro. Then we got C29. We said now we will become a manufacturing head, but which are the subsystems being made in India? So our people who don various positions or various hats, they don't understand the nuances to really fill the gaps. They are so excited. I'll give you an example. We made MiG-21, 850 MiG-21s. And what did we learn? And now again we are talking of collaborations. The devil is in details. I really compliment our Indian startups. They are developing a number of innovative UAVs. But you ask the Russians, you ask the Ukrainians, the vulnerabilities were the biggest nightmare for them, as I was trying to show the video. So, devil is in details. Civil drones. We started various policy initiatives. Where are the technology initiatives? Is the ownership or the real reforms which bring the transformation? We will have drones irrespective of whether we design critical technologies or not, because somebody will sell you. It is the critical technologies which gives an edge to a country. And for that, I will blame people who don various hats and do not try to understand nuances, because that is known to somebody else. So how can they take decisions if they don't understand those nuances? two essentials if we are to really do the course corrections in India. One is Atmanirbharta. So, in the past we got technologies from US, Russia, all those people. Today China is making 6th generation fighters and similarly land and naval systems. How many can we buy from a foreign country? Funds are limited. We are not as rich. Though we are the fifth economy, that reality has to be understood. The best way to do is, let's say I buy an aircraft or a tank from a foreign country, or if I do it in India, I buy 50% more cost. But remember that 50% more cost is being churned in your own ecosystem, and then you are developing technologies. So when people start talking of cost effectiveness, they forget. When people like him develop some technologies, we are not understanding the nuances. So we are really not focused on developing long-term capabilities. And I will certainly say that stakeholders, when people say it is the government which has got a role to play, because if they don't demand industry by own, at least I have seen few people working, and those who work, they also face challenges. So government has to really make sure that people who are developing core technologies are supported. Military civil technology fusion. I gave you example of 1150 commercial aircraft being bought in India in 2023. China bought 165 and got a final assembly line. How would it have helped? The machines which have come, the processes would have come, the component manufacturing would have come. But did we negotiate? Do we understand? We are too proud of what we are doing without understanding that where we want, what is our vision. If we want to take India to become a global hub, then we have to know the nuances. And that's a problem India faces. Uh, that happens in civil aircraft manufacturing, that happens in drones even today. So, since I have less time, I'll quickly come. What reforms are needed? Nuances I will tell. There are not hundreds, at least tens of half-developed aircraft and aero engines in India. We are not trying to overcome that. We are going to the next generation. That's not smart. You ask a designer, you have to really go past the challenge which you face if you really have to become. So all our programs will have to be overcome. So we need structures like research laboratories of US, Russia, Israel, where they really overcome the faults. That's a military reforms we need. Because if we keep being managed by the operational, they will give you operational perspective, but they cannot cross the technological threshold. Ministry of Civil Aviation. And similarly, ministries in the commercial, there are 54 ministries in India. The 53 are never questioned. It is always the Ministry of Defense. $3.9 billion deal for MQ-9 was in news, whereas $115 billion deal for 1150 aircraft was not in news. So technology ownership is a key. So Ministry of Civil Aviation, also the EASA or Europe or China or many other countries, the civil aviation has got R&D programs. And if you really want to transform, then we need reforms in India.